Zoom out with me for a minute. The evidence is in, and it couldn't be any clearer. It's not about one tribe or the other. It's not even about tribalism. It's about human nature. We are suckers for dictatorship. We kind of like it. We're a-hole magnets. That is, we are drawn somehow to absolutists, narcissists. There is appeal in it. And it is the case for all of us. It's not about one tribe or the other. We fall for it in every possible direction. Left, right, philosophical, atheist, spiritual, whatever. When we find someone who gives us the impression that they are always right, that they've found the formula, that we can climb on their train and take it all the way to heaven or the happily ever after, we tend to fall that way. What are we going to do about this? What can we do about it? What we have been doing for millennia now is saying the other guys do it, which is the most fun. And we can always see when other people do it. When people who disagree with us do it, it's obvious. When we do it, it's not fun to see it. We don't want to see ourselves doing it. We want to feel exceptional, like we have found the only express train to happily ever after. That's the romantic urge in us. It's this urge, it's this dream of happily ever after that lives in all of us and is not possible in reality. So that craving, I mean, you think about the American experiment. This was a really ambitious experiment to overcome that tendency in us. And look at us. Look what we fell for. What are we going to do about it? Well, here's one suggestion. First, admit it about yourself, even though it's not fun. It's more fun to gloat, to indulge in scornography, the scorn pornography about how they do it. But if you can admit it about yourself, then you can manage it. You can't manage a temptation that you deny having. An alcoholic can't stop being an alcoholic if they deny that they're an alcoholic. Admit it, own it. It's a human thing. It's not proof that you're a bad person. It just proves that you're a person, which you are, which I am. We all are. If you can own it, if you can name it, if you can say, I too have that temptation. That's one thing we could do, is to just own it. And then the question is, what are you going to do about that? How are you going to manage it? Well, here's a suggestion around this. You got to watch out for loaded terms. There are lots of positive and negative terms that get floated around, and they are, people identify with the good ones and they avoid the bad ones. It's what I call the duck and tuck. If it sounds bad, it's not about me. If it sounds good, it's about me. So I duck anything that sounds negative, and I tuck myself under anything that sounds positive. That's what people do with those loaded terms. And they don't get around to defining them. They simply associate them with their tribe or their express train to happily ever after. Stop doing that. Admit that you have every trait in the human repertoire. Nothing human is foreign to you or me or anyone else. And then unload those terms. Because what is the loading? The loading is pretending that if you are associated with this term, the universe is on your side. God is on your side. You should win. I'm loving. I'm special. I like love. And I don't like hate. Do you see what I'm doing there? That's ridiculous. That's the duck and tuck. And every tribe does it about their frickin' express train. So if you can avoid that, you're well on your way. So what are you going to do with those terms? Those terms define human behaviors. Loving is a behavior. So is hating. And they are in your repertoire if you only dare admit it. They're in my repertoire too. I hate, I get impatient, I throw tantrums. Then what do you do about that? Well, they aren't exclusively good or bad. None of them are. Hate is the right response to certain phenomena. Love is the right response to certain phenomena. Love is not the answer. It's a question. Where should you point your love? Liberty isn't the answer, nor is conservatism or tradition. These are loaded terms. Try to figure out what they actually mean, what they define, what distinguishes loving from unloving. For me, love is an easy one. Love, niceness, kindness, empathy, all of them imply accommodating others. Okay, should I accommodate others? Yeah. Should I accommodate others always? No. I can't, won't, and shouldn't accommodate everyone. The golden rule is likewise claptrap, because it says if everybody accommodated everyone, then no one would have to accommodate anyone. Nice sentiment, I can picture it sort of, everybody getting along with each other. That is not a rule. It doesn't solve anything. Who should accommodate whom? It doesn't solve anything. So you start to realize that these loaded terms, the question is where you point them. They're loaded. Who should you accommodate? Who should you love? Have you ever loved wrong? Okay, apparently love isn't always the answer. So if we just did those things, we could begin to address this natural, universal, common tendency in all of us to pretend that those words, we get to sort out who's which. We got all the good ones, our enemies have all the bad ones. We're still doing that 10 years into the Trump clusterfuck. The left, the progressives, anybody who's opposed to them is still getting on their high horse and talking like the good words apply to them and the bad words apply to their enemy. Same stuff we've been doing all along. We did it about Stalin. Not me personally, but ancestors did. The Jews are doing it. My ancestors are doing it now in Palestine, when we somehow thought we were special because we were the victims last time. No, we're human. We're human, and we will follow a-holes like Netanyahu. That's the kind of thing that humans do. If we could just admit it about ourselves, not about humans in general, me excluded. It's not present company accepted, like we're exceptions. It's present company accepted. You own your humanness. If we all do that and stop grandstanding from our high horse virtue signaling and vice accusing, if we could indulge our appetite for scornography in fiction, where we get to identify with the hero, and then turn off the TV and get back to real life. If we could do that, we have a chance of overcoming what will otherwise undo us. Everybody needs their hero-playing opportunities. We're all a little romantic. Romantic, hope, optimism, all of that. Think of it as romance for me, optimism for me, hope for me. That is what I want should be the standard for the world. The kind of pouty, scaredy brat tantrum throwing that the tantrumplicans have indulged into the max. We all have that tendency. We need to play it out in fiction because it's dangerous as hell in society. You get cults and then you get the counter cult. One that says, those guys did the wrong thing. I know the right thing to do. I will lead. We will overcome. And then you've got the flip side. You've got the counter cult. So we want to avoid that if we want to survive. And at the same time, we need that degree of self-flattery. We just need to take it, for the most part, by two means. One is through competence. If you get good at something, you can gain your confidence that way. You can feel like a hero if you do actual heroic things. But that's not enough for us. We need an extra margin. We want to scooch more of a sense of ourselves as the heroes, and the way to do that is in fiction. And it doesn't matter which fiction you go with. Go to church if you want. Watch movies, play video games, watch porn. Join the fans of a particular spectator sports team. Do whatever to get your yah-yahs offline. Don't do that in reality. Don't do what the Trumpists have done. what I say every chance I get to a Trumpist is self-love is important, but get a room, don't let it go to your head, and don't turn basic governance into your circle jerk vanity project. And I would say the same to a leftist. I would say the same to me. I encourage you to say the same to me if it goes to my head. If I start to feel like, oh, I have found the way, I am woke, I've taken the red pill, I've seen the light, I'm born again, I'm now on the express train to enlightenment. Don't do that. And the only way you can stop doing that in the real world is by admitting that you have a temptation to do it like everybody else. It's cliche Guevara. It sounds revolutionary, but it's cliche. People have been doing this for millennia. We gotta stop or we won't make it.